Welcome to Eiley Legacy. This week we're focusing on migrants and their families. Migration and forced displacement are at an all-time high. Many people migrate for work, study or to join family, but increasing human insecurity has driven these numbers even higher. People are often forced to leave their homes due to natural disasters, political unrest, conflict, poverty, climate change, and even simply for being who they are, whether that's related to race, beliefs, or sexuality. Right now, there are 281 million international migrants, which is about 3.6% of the global population. This is almost evenly split between men and women, with 28 million being children. And remarkably, the migrant population has increased by 87% in just the last 4 years. Environmental impacts and climate change are also driving migration. It's predicted that an additional 216 million people could be forced to migrate by 2050. Now let's take a look at Africa. Since 1990, the number of African migrants living outside the continent has more than doubled. Currently, 21 million reside in another African country, while 17 million live outside of Africa. 11 million in Europe, 5 million in Asia, and 3 million in North America. In Europe, there are 87 million international migrants. Around 40 million of these are non-Europeans, while 44 million are Europeans living in another European country. And additionally, 19 million Europeans live outside of Europe, primarily in Asia and North America. Sadly, migrants and their families often face negativity and stigma, which is often fueled by media coverage that focuses on negative stories. Political narratives can promote hate and division, using migrants as pawns in their games. Disinformation tactics can further damage public perception and discussions surrounding migration. Now let's look at the challenges that migrants and their families face. We'll do this by exploring case studies throughout Africa and Europe to see what barriers that migrants face throughout their journeys. Let's start in North Africa, where xenophobia and racism are on the rise. In 2023, Tunisia saw political leaders blaming migrants for crime and threatening national identity. Media outlets fueled this anti-immigration rhetoric, similar to trends we see in Europe. And as a result, migrants in Tunisia experienced racist violence, verbal and physical abuse, job losses and evictions. Moving to West and Central Africa, tens of thousands of migrants embark on perilous journeys each year. Key routes include the Central Mediterranean, Western Mediterranean and the West Africa Atlantic route. Tragically, nearly 2,800 deaths and disappearances were reported in 2022. And throughout their journeys, migrants often face abuse in North Africa, the Sahara, and during sea crossings. In East and Southern Africa, climate change is taking a severe toll. By March 2023, the East and Horn of Africa experienced the worst drought in over 40 years, displacing more than 2 million people in Ethiopia and Somalia. In Southern Africa, Cyclone Freddy displaced over 500,000 people in Malawi alone. Europe. In Southern and Eastern Europe, limited work opportunities persist, especially in Albania and Moldova, worsened by the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Approximately 40% of Albania's workforce is employed abroad. Countries like Bulgaria and Serbia are seeing high rates of immigration among young people. And illegal migration has increased in this region, with many taking dangerous routes to the UK. The Russian invasion of Ukraine has further escalated migration rates. In response, the European Union activated the Temporary Protection Directive, granting Ukrainians fleeing war legal status and access to essential rights in EU states, such as education, housing, healthcare and work. However, concerns remain about unclear wording in the directive, which could complicate maintaining legal status after visits home. In Northern and Western Europe, we see gaps in policies for migrants. Both Denmark and the UK have pursued stricter immigration measures, including outsourcing asylum processing to Rwanda, though these policies have been halted by new governments. In Italy, a new decree on rescue operations in the central Mediterranean has raised alarms about obstructing humanitarian efforts, putting more lives at risk at sea. While countries like France, Germany, Luxembourg and Spain have adopted foreign policies positively impacting women and girls, some overlook the specific needs of migrants and their families. Finally, let's look at the solutions for the challenges that migrants and their families encounter. First, migrants need the right to information. This means well-developed information campaigns created in consultation with migrants, affected individuals and civil society. These campaigns should inform migrants of their human rights, promote safe migration routes and be accessible to all, child-friendly and available in multiple languages. Second, data collection is essential. More quantitative and qualitative research on migrant experiences is needed to measure trends, raise awareness, prevent human rights abuses and guide migration policy. Laws and policies should be revised. A more holistic approach to migration policies is necessary, one that considers labour migration needs, supports family reunification and promotes educational opportunities. Improved integration practices and partnerships are key to fostering social and economic equality and embracing cultural diversity. Policies should also be forward-thinking, prepared for increased human mobility and insecurities. They must be designed to equip both migrants and host communities for future challenges, addressing environmental factors that drive migration and contribute to water and food crisis. Finally, migration must be approached within the broader context of systemic changes. Effective responses require greater collaboration between governments and non-state actors to address root causes and drivers of migration. In closing, it is important to note that the people are not the problem. The causes that drive families and individuals to cross borders and the short-sighted and unrealistic ways that politicians respond to them are the problem. Thank you for watching. Follow us for more insights on the challenges of being undocumented. Join us next week for the Eilidh Legacy for Humanity podcast, where we'll unpack the topics of smuggling and human trafficking, exploring what these practices mean, their human rights implications and potential solutions. Also, a quick reminder that applications for the SADC Arise Mentee to Mentorship programme are open until the 17th of November. Plus, don't forget to register for our International Human Rights Day conference, where we'll take a deeper look at what it means to be undocumented, building on the themes from our For Humanity podcast. Thanks again, and we hope to see you soon. Bye!